everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Azarintang Febriana with class study number 2007. And today I would like to evaluate the performance of the closing opposition team in this British parliamentary debate. The closing opposition disagree with the motion. This House believe that anti-intellectualism poses a greater threat to national development than corruption. Their stand was that corruption is a greater threat because it directly weakens government institutions, slow economic growth, reduce public trust, and prevent good policies from being implemented. In the session, I will focus on two speakers, Yungka as the member of opposition and Udin as the opposition whip. First, I would like to evaluate Yungka as the member of opposition. The main argument he brought was that developing country needs strong institutions and financial resources before they can benefit from education and expertise. He explained that corruption directly damages the economy, government institutions, and public service. Therefore, he believed corruption has a more immediate impact on national development than anti-intellectualism. The next one of his strength was his delivery. He had good pronunciation and a natural accent. He spoke confidently throughout his speech. He also fulfilled his role as the member of opposition by extending the opposition case instead of simply repeating the opening opposition's argument. However, I found several weaknesses. First, his voice was sometimes not loud enough, making some part difficult to hear. Second, although he introduced a new perspective, some of his analysis was still too general and needed strong evidence to prove why corruption is a greater threat than anti-intellectualism in the long term. I also noticed that he used words like stupid and shit during her speech. In my opinion, this was not appropriate in a formal British parliamentary debate because speakers should maintain respectful and professional language. Overall, I think Yungka fulfilled his role quite effectively. He successfully provided an extension for the closing opposition and delivered her speech confidently. However, he could improve by speaking more clearly, using more formal language, and supporting his argument with deeper analysis. Next, I would like to evaluate Udin as the opposition whip. His main argument was that corruption remains the biggest obstacle to national development because it weakens institutions, reduces public trust, and prevents development from being implemented effectively. One strength of his speech was that he remained consistent with the opposition stand and tried to reinforce his strong overall opposition. However, I found more weakness than strengths. His speech lasted only about 2 minutes, and it was much shorter than the expected speaking time. His voice was also not loud enough, and he locked his notes too often, reducing eye contact with the audience. In terms of argumentation, his comparison between the government and opposition case was not strong enough. As the opposition whip, he sought wave coloring summaries and debate with both sides and explains why the opposition deserved to win. Unfortunately, his summary was too brief, so his conclusion was less convincing. Overall, I think Udin did not fully fulfill his role as the opposition whip. And then know clearly why opposition arguments were stronger than the government. Lastly, I personally agree with the government side. I know corruption is a very serious issue, especially in Indonesia. It causes financial losses, weaken institutions, and slow down development. But in my opinion, corruption is something that can still be reduced through stronger law. What worries me more in intellectualism when people stop trusting experts, reject sanction, evidence, or making decisions based only emotion or misinformation. Even if a country has good research or enough funding, development will not move forward in people no longer value knowledge, education, and innovation. As the developing country, Indonesia really needs educated people, research sanction, and professionals to build better future. If society keep rejecting expertise, I think the impact will be much more damaging in the long run. So, for the reason I believe that anti-intellectualism poses a greater threat to national development than corruption, that's why I support the government side. Thank you.